Now, New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News this morning.
The transition of power officially getting underway today. The key White House meeting between President Obama and President-elect Donald Trump.
And developing right now, anti-Trump protests erupting nationwide. Thousands of demonstrators showed up at Trump Tower in Midtown, and dozens of people have been arrested.
Protesters storming the streets in at least 20 cities. Here's what it looked like in Chicago, Dallas, and Seattle. A new video just coming in out of California. Protesters in Oakland lighting fires with new reports of vandalism, looting, and even building fires.
Eyewitness News reporter Dre Clark is live outside Trump Tower with new details on the arrests here at home. Dre?
Good morning, Ken and Lori. 65 people arrested last night, mostly for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. Meanwhile, 5th Avenue between West 56th and 57th is back open this morning, but there are still police officers standing on every corner watching Trump Tower very closely. Last night, an estimated 10,000 people were here on the street. They answered a call on Facebook and other social media sites to hit the streets and protest the election of Donald J. Trump. Protesters were arrested last night for things like you see here, scaling utility poles. Initially, two groups popped up seemingly out of nowhere at Union Square and Columbus Circle. They then marched to Trump Tower on 5th Avenue, tying up traffic along the way. They called Donald Trump a racist, sexist, anti-gay man who has no business leading the country. Meanwhile, outside Trump Tower, protesters were met with a wall of NYPD security who kept them away from Trump Tower. Meanwhile, Donald Trump was last night at home inside his top floor, 3-story penthouse, too far up to hear the commotion way down on the street.
And people are just saying enough is enough. We're not going to accept this. I don't care if it's the reality. We're going to fight back because we know there might be some really grim things that are going to happen to some marginalized communities, and we're saying not on our watch.
And this morning, you can still see those city sanitation trucks forming a line of defense, if you will, around Trump Tower. Again, police officers still here on every block just to ensure that nothing else happens here in front of Trump Tower. Meanwhile, Donald Trump said in his acceptance speech that he is calling for unity and that he will be the president for all Americans, not some Americans. But there is no doubt there is still a deep divide very much in play happening across the country. We're live this morning in Midtown Manhattan. Dre Clark, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Dre, thank you, and good morning. I'm Ken Rosato.
And I'm Lori Stokes, and today is Thursday, November 10th. You're never more than 7 minutes away from weather and traffic. Meteorologist Bill Evans.
Well, good morning, everybody. We have clear to partly cloudy skies. We got some chilly temperatures, and we got some wind out there to go with it. 41 degrees, 45 LaGuardia, 36 White Plains, 40 down the Jersey Shore. We see 32 Monticello, Newburgh. Got a little wind out there that makes it feel a few degrees cooler, like 30 at Brooklyn and 28 around Monticello, 34 down the shore. So it was 40 for the temperature, 34 for the real feel. Today, by the time we get to the commute, we're into the 40s. By lunchtime, 53 and 55 for the high this afternoon, which is sort of a normal seasonal November day. But it gets warmer tomorrow for Veterans Day, and it gets downright cold on Saturday. We'll talk about that next. Weather and traffic together every 7 minutes is weather, then Heather. She's got problems with the Cross Bronx and a couple of other spots, too.
Well, this is the George Washington Bridge, and we knew this was going to happen. Anytime there's an issue on the Cross Bronx Expressway, if they can't get that cleared away quickly enough, you get a backup across the George Washington Bridge. So look at the upper level, absolutely crawling. Lower level doing much better, and this delay extends onto the Cross Bronx Expressway. Now, the Cross Bronx has the eastbound accident right near the Deegan. 2 tractor trailers involved, 2 lanes are closed, and westbound from the Sheridan getting into Jerome Avenue, you do have that construction. G-Trains at Court Square, we had some issues that has been taken care of. Street cleaning rules are in effect. Ken, over to you.
Heather, thank you. At 5:33, and today, President-elect Donald Trump will meet with President Obama at the White House, marking the official start of the transition of power. Eyewitness News reporter Rob Nelson is here with a preview of today's meeting. Rob?
Ken, it is certainly no secret that there is no love lost between President Obama and President-elect Trump, both personally and, of course, politically. But today, the two men will look to move beyond those differences and prepare, as you said, for this peaceful transfer of power. Mexico's president saying he is ready to meet with President-elect Donald Trump. It's all about Trump's most famous promise to build a border wall and make Mexico pay for it. Meantime, the Trump transition starts today with a meeting at the White House with President Obama, both sides of the aisle making unity a priority.
What Donald Trump just pulled off is an enormous political feat. It's an enormous feat in that he heard those voices that were out there that other people weren't hearing, and he just earned a mandate, and we now just have that unified Republican government.
Another of Trump's major promises is targeting 11 to 12 million illegal immigrants with a deportation force.
We're going to get rid of these people. We are going to get rid of them day one.
And there's also that wall.
On day one, we will begin working on an impenetrable, physical, tall, powerful, beautiful southern border wall.
And Obamacare's days are likely numbered.
It is the single worst piece of legislation among many bad pieces of legislation passed in the first 2 years of the Obama presidency. The sooner we can go in a different direction, the better.
The voters don't need to worry about their 25-year-old or younger staying on their policies or pre-existing conditions. We've dealt with those. But I believe, number one, repeal and replace Obamacare in the first 100 days.
So much of the Obama legacy could be dismantled in that first year in office. Meantime, the Trump transition team has been meeting close to the White House, in fact, in D.C., and one early proposal being discussed would ban many members of the transition team from lobbying the same federal agencies that they're now helping to shape. The ban would also underscore the drain the swamp promises made by Trump during the campaign. Also, one thing to note, political reporter Dave Evans will be in Washington today, catching his flight as we speak. In fact, you can see his reports later today on Eyewitness News as he covers this first meeting between President Obama and President-elect Trump. Lori?
All right, Rob, thank you. One of the major rallying points of Trump's campaign has disappeared from his website. The site had previously posted a statement saying that Trump called for a, quote, total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the U.S. Well, that statement, which sparked backlash from his opponents, was posted last December. It was on the website until at least this past Saturday. But now that same page just redirects back to his campaign homepage. Other news, and today thousands of police officers will be on hand to say goodbye to an NYPD sergeant killed in the line of duty. Yesterday, officers and Mayor de Blasio showed up to pay their respects at a wake for Sergeant Paul Tuzzulo. Eyewitness News reporter Diana Rocco's live in Massapequa with the story. Diana.
Lori, good morning. Another sad and very difficult day for the NYPD, for this community and friends and family of Sergeant Paul Tuzzulo, as he is laid to rest later this morning here at the Church of St. Rose of Lima. Tuzzulo was a 19-year veteran of the NYPD, just months from completing 20 years on the force. He leaves behind a wife and two small boys. Last night, the mayor and fire commissioner were here paying their respects at his wake, as well as Police Commissioner O'Neill and former Commissioner Bratton. Last Friday, Tuzzulo was fatally shot by a suspect in the Bronx who fired at him on a traffic stop. Another officer was also injured. Police returned fire, killing the suspect who was holding his ex-wife and family at gunpoint for several hours. Tuzzulo was a well-respected member of the department. Fellow officers say he is missed.
Men and women in uniform that he supervised, that he touched every day, looked up to him so much. Served as a mentor, provided guidance both with things within the department and in their personal lives as well.
Funeral services for Tuzzulo will begin here at 11 o'clock this morning. We're live in Massapequa, Nassau County. I'm Diana Rocco, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Diana, thank you. And for those of you who cannot attend Sergeant Tuzzulo's funeral, we will stream the service live this morning. It's at 11 o'clock on our free news app and our website, ABC7NY.
5:38 this morning, Mets pitcher Juris Familia will be back in court on domestic violence charges in New Jersey. Familia was arrested 11 days ago at his home in Fort Lee. Meanwhile, the MLB commissioner says the league will not finish its investigation into the allegations until the criminal investigation comes to a close.
5:38. You're never more than 7 minutes away from weather and traffic and meteorologist Bill Evans.
Well, this morning a little on the cool and crisp side, so dress with the gear this morning as you make the commute, getting to the bus stop. heading to the subway, getting in the car, getting on the school bus, all that kind of stuff. It's a chilly morning outside. We're looking at 41 degrees, a couple of clouds you see down the Jersey Shore there, but we're looking at a nice morning here. 56 will be our high with the wind. It'll feel like the 40s today, so it's kind of breezy and chilly today. At the bus stop, oh, nice hat. Hey, looking sharp. All right, dress warmly at the bus stop. It's going to be 41 in the city, 31 in the suburbs. Weather driving together every 7 minutes. She's dressed sharp. Love the hat.
Oh, thank you very much. It's my Aunt Tilly's.
Oh, those are grandmother's.
Well, she gave it to my Aunt Tilly. Here we go. Here is the George Washington Bridge. You can see that upper level is just bumper to bumper. Lower level is moving, but that upper level not moving at all. And this is because of a couple of problems on the Cross Bronx as we take a look at our maps. Eastbound, right at the Deegan, an accident involving 2 tractor trailers, so 2 lanes are closed. And westbound, you have that construction from the Sheridan getting into Jerome Avenue. New Jersey Transit Metro North Long Island Railroad running on or closed. Alternate side of the street parking rules are in effect. Ken and Lori, over to you.
All right, Heather, thank you. Still ahead on Eyewitness News this morning, Connecticut man who survived a deadly home invasion, now preparing for a future in politics.
Also ahead, a mayor not backing down. 3 men attacked her, but she doesn't give up. Let you hear how she was able to help police catch the 2 of them. Stay with us.